when whining fades, and only you remain. You complained, you argued, you laughed, and then you simply fell silent. And for the first time you heard that inside you someone does not speak, does not ask, does not demand, simply breathes quietly. We have gone through it all, from the first sighs in paradise to the map of whining and dictators who complain louder than anyone else but forbid others to whine. We understood whining is power, it is a tool, it is protection. But today we ask, what remains when you don't even want to whine anymore? What if one day this protection itself becomes a cage? There is a moment that cannot be seen from outside. It does not look like enlightenment, it does not feel like victory, it doesn't even come as relief. It simply is. You sit, silent, staring at the point where once there was a feeling and now, not emptiness, not a hole, but space. This is not apathy, not weariness. This is the last spectator left after the play. The hall is already empty, but the silence rings. It does not mean the pain has gone. It has simply stopped explaining itself. You no longer search for the guilty. You no longer argue with yourself. You no longer try to comfort yourself. You simply remain as you are, with breath, with the kettle that does not just heat, but sings, with the cat sleeping in a basin, with the dusty light lying across the table, with your own imperfection, which no longer feels like a tragedy. You no longer whine, and not because you became stronger, but because everything that could be said has been said, all complaints walked through, all battles lost, all victories forgotten, all meanings erased. You reached the edge of the whining world, and beyond it there was nothing. But that nothing is not emptiness. It is the sky after rain, when drops still fall from branches, but you are no longer wet. Where once there was, why him, remains, all right. Where there was, I can't handle this, remains, that happens too. Where there was, I want it to get easier, remains, it is already different. You did not become a saint, you simply became quieter. Your whining did not disappear, it dissolved into your blood. It became background noise, a melody you no longer sing, but that still plays. You no longer pray with words, you simply sit in the kitchen and listen to the dripping tap. This is prayer. A prayer in the style of the prophet of whining, who once said, "When you have no more question, it is time to listen to answers. They are in the kettle, in the shoes, by the door, in the rustle of breadcrumbs on the windowsill. They are in you. Without words, you do not even know whether all this whining is over or simply paused. But for the first time in a long while, you don't want to run. You don't want to be someone else. You don't want to change the world or even yourself. You are simply okay without gesture, without signature, without a cup. Perhaps you will start whining again tomorrow. Most likely, yes. And even in this, there is no drama, because now you know in every "oh, not again" lives a chance to hear yourself once more, anew, deeper, quieter. This is not an end, this is a return on a new level into a new circle where you are no longer just a whiner, you are a witness, one who has walked through noise and carried out not conclusions, but the ability to hear silence. And if someone one day asks, why are you just sitting there, silent? You will be able to answer, I'm listening to how everything whines and heals, even the fridge. But this is not the end. The next revelation will open a new level, the art of listening to another's whining without judgment and without rushing to fix. The art of simply being there when someone else suffers. A complaint, not an obstacle, but a point of contact. And silent compassion will become a new prayer. Amen. And may your pause be heard more clearly than your words.
Holy wine, it's true.